Look at this thick Umbreon. This is super thick right here. IVs matter. Doesn't want the smoke. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like TTX Bad Boy, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at my final recorded set for ranked play in Go Battle League Season 7. Now, during this last week, basically what I wanted to do was test out a bunch of different teams that I've seen from different content creators such as FP Sticks, Wallower, Vergiverg, and a few others. And the team that really stuck out to me and performed the best by far was this team right here, consisting of Defense Deoxys, Umbreon, and Alolan Ninetales. So this team was actually created by Vergiverg, so a big shout out to him. He is another content creator. We'll put a link to his channel up here or in the description below. So this is a really strong team. If you run the simulations on PvPoke Team Builder, there isn't really any glaring weaknesses. It has very solid coverage overall. I did about 15 sets in total, going up about 400 points from 2,900 to just above 3,300 after this final set. So of course this was not enough to get us onto the leaderboard, fell a little bit short, but I was still pretty happy to see myself be able to climb in these last couple of days and build a lot of points in rating. Still pretty happy with the results of this team nonetheless. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. So once again, this team was created by Vergiverg, so a big shout out to him. This is a very strong team right here. We got Deoxys into Azumarill. This is a matchup that basically you're going to stay in. Umbreon, of course, has a very poor matchup here. And we are running Thunderbolts, so this is a winnable matchup still if we want to invest shields. Going straight for the Thunderbolts here at the 6th bubble from the Azumarill, and the opponent swaps out into Alolan Ninetales. So I wait to see what move they're running. When I see it's Powder Snow, I decide to swap into my own Ninetales here with the Charm. And at this point, they have a lot of energy. My Luscon here is basically getting hit by Dazzling Gleam, so I do shield up there, and we do correctly call that. So at this point, I know I could farm down before they get to another Dazzling Gleam. This is only going to be a Weather Ball, not going to hurt too much, so I let that go through. And we're just going to farm down completely, build up a lot of energy here, and see what the opponent wants to come in with. Now I'm going to be spamming the Psyshock here because they should have a move ready on the Azumarill, but they come back in with it. I throw the Psyshock here to get the extra bubble through, and at this point they do have enough for a Hydro Pump, but that's not really necessary in order to take us out here. Should be enough with a Play Rough, and we're going to come back in with the Deoxys here, build up for the Thunderbolt, and this should be enough to take out the Azumarill from this range. So they're going to go down here unless they decide to shield, which they don't. Come in with the Altaria, and this is a bit of a tricky spot here because we do still have a shield disadvantage. So I'm going for a Psycho Boost. I'm going to swap out immediately into the Umbreon here, and at this point I know the opponent's probably going to be going for Moonblast, especially because it's a shiny, you know it's a community day one. So I'm going to shield up the first one because of course there is the possibility of lowering the attack with Moonblast, so there really is no reason to even bait with Sky Attack on the first one I felt. So I'm going for the Foul Play here. Foul Play is going to be adding up to this Altaria. Of course, they could definitely survive a couple, but they're going to have to burn their shield eventually, and we are getting to these moves very quickly. So the next Foul Play comes through here. The Altaria still decide not to shield. They're going to have to shield the next one though, and I should be able to get to a Psycho Boost. At this point, it really comes down to basically who's going to outpace who. So I'm going to throw the Foul Play here, and I think after this, I'm going to swap out into my Deoxys and hope that I could get to the Psycho Boost before they get to a move, because I didn't want to risk getting farmed down by the Altaria there, but they actually do beat me to the move here. So now it's going to come down to a legitimate race. Umbreon versus Altaria. I know they are dry and they're not going to get to the charge when they're going for the farm down. We click the Foul Play. Look at this thick Umbreon. This is super thick right here. IVs matter. Taking out the Altaria there. We win that game. Super hype battle. We're off to a 1-0 start. So also, if you guys hear like random noise in the background, fireworks, it's because it's Victoria Day here in Canada, so there are people laying out the fireworks, so that's why you're hearing all the bangs aside from the ones in this video. We got Deoxys into Skarmory here. Whenever I play this matchup, I'm always counting the Skarmory's moves because of course they are building up for a Brave Bird here, which they're at. Now I'm going to let this go through because it will not KO. They bait with the Sky Attack, and now at this point, the match becomes a little bit interesting for us. So I'm going to throw the Thunderbolts here, and they do shield that up. And usually what I like to do is actually build past the next Thunderbolts. I'm going to have to shield the Sky Attack anyways, so I'm going to shield this up here. And I like to farm past the Thunderbolts in case they swap out, but also in case they're not counting to sort of get them confused on the count. So they do swap out, we save the energy, which is something I don't normally do, so we do it this time. That's very good. Bring in the Umbreon here, and we see the Stunfisk throw the Earthquake. So as you can tell, this team doesn't have a great answer for Galarian Stunfisk. It's sort of a team effort here. Umbreon can definitely hold its own, but the Ninetales kind of gets wrecked against Stunfisk, and Deoxys doesn't necessarily have a great matchup either against it unless you're going to be investing shields with a shield advantage. So another Earthquake comes through here. We're going to build up for the Foul Play, and the opponent actually swaps out into Skarmory, which I thought was a pretty interesting play because now what this basically allows me to do is come in with Deoxys, and because they're actually dry on energy, I know that I could farm this down before they get to another move. So now I'm absolutely loaded on energy with Deoxys. I kind of need that Stunfisk to get eliminated, so I'm kind of hoping the opponent does come back in with the Stunfisk here. I'm going to throw both these Psycho Boosts at it immediately. Hope this is enough to take it out because I need my Ninetales to avoid the Stunfisk at all costs. So another Psycho Boost coming through here, and we're able to farm down with one counter. Now I do have another Psycho Boost ready. My switch timer isn't up, so I'm not even going to try to swap out. Just throw this, it's debuffed. And it actually ends up being a Scrafty in the back. So this is basically GG's because we do have the Alolan Ninetales running the charm, and there's nothing the opponent could do there. They back out. No smoke is wanted. Right now, let's hop into the next video. Next battle, I should say, actually. So we got Soft Kitty, wow, OMG. And we are leading Deoxys into a Galarian Stunfisk here. So this is a pretty horrible lead. Probably one of the worst leads you can see for this team, but it's not too bad. Sometimes I try catching the Rock Slide, but then again, they might not even throw the Rock Slide. They might just go straight for the Earthquake against Deoxys, so it's a pretty risky play. So I decide to swap out into Umbreon immediately, and we get met by Medicham. So this is looking like a pretty hard counter city line. And of course, this is the last set I recorded. There were some battles I did with this team that were absolutely insane. And I wasn't recording them because I didn't really expect to upload any battles or videos on this particular team. But then I figured, you know what, I may as well upload the last set I have, and I decided to record it. So not the greatest battles in this set, but still pretty entertaining. And in this particular matchup, we're pretty hard countered. Here I have to make a decision, do I want to come with Ninetales or the Deoxys? I actually decided to come with Ninetales here because I'm hoping I could farm down, and my plan is to actually land Weather Ball on the Stunfisk. So I take this Ice Punch here knowing that it can't be a pretty hard move, and I swap out into Deoxys immediately here because I didn't have enough energy. And here I make a mistake, I think, because obviously the opponent isn't even at an Earthquake here, so it's obviously a Rock Slide, so I definitely miscounted there, and I wasn't thinking in this moment, so I wasted a shield, I feel, and the opponent has a Cresselia in the back, so kind of wish I had that Umbreon still. But obviously this is like, it's just lined up to be hard counter line, right? So Deoxys here, if I had actually kept that shield, I think this might have been a bit more playable, but the Stunfisk versus Ninetales matchup is still so rough, so there isn't really too much I could do here. I'm going for the Thunderbolts. The Cresselia here is going to choose to burn one shield, and I'm going to swap out into my Ninetales. At this point, I'm kind of basically sacking the Ninetales because it doesn't really have much play here, so Grass Knot comes through, and I'm actually not able to get to this Weather Ball here, which is pretty unfortunate, but I think I do shield here. I do, right. And this is actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to land this Weather Ball on the Stunfisk, so the opponent swapping out here doesn't really matter to me because I wanted this Weather Ball to go to the Stunfisk anyways, preferably, because I want to put this Stunfisk low enough to the point where maybe it's possible to farm down with Deoxys. So Rock Slide comes through, and of course I can't really throw my Psycho Boost here. I guess if I threw back to back, maybe I could have taken out this Stunfisk, but then I don't think it would be possible to take out the Cresselia with a Thunderbolt being debuffed, and they still have a shield too, so there really wasn't much I could do there. Kind of just a hard counter line, and we do end up losing that game. We got Stimpy92 here in the fourth battle of this set. Deoxys into Alolan Ninetales, and this Ninetales is running Charm. So this is a matchup that isn't too bad for Deoxys if you're running Rock Slide. Of course we're not, and the opponent swaps out into their own Deoxys. So this is actually amazing for us because now we can just come in with the Umbreon, and now we're going to be able to keep the alignment, and I'm actually going to look to align my own Alolan Ninetales onto theirs, I think. So let's see how this plays out here. I'm going for the Foul Play, And I actually prefer that this does not knock out the Deoxys, which it's not going to, and they land another move, because I don't want that Ninetales to get too much farm here. And actually, I guess it did KO, so we are going to get a little bit, well, at least we get to the last resort here, so it's not too bad. We did give a little bit of farm to the Ninetales, but at least we got off that last resort there. And I'm going to come in with my own Ninetales, so I'm expecting them to throw a Weather Ball blindly, which they're throwing. Hopefully it is the Weather Ball. And if it is, it's not doing too much to Ninetales here. And now I believe we can actually farm down with Charm before they get to another move, which is absolutely huge. Opponent has an Umbreon in the back. So actually the same team there, except in a different order. And we got fortunate the opponent swapped out first. So we take that game right there. And heading into the last battle of this set, the last battle of Season 7, and we have a beautiful lead. This is how you love to end off the season. Bastion into our Deoxys. Opponent swaps out into Deoxys, you love to see it. It's pretty much hard counter city right here. We are throwing the foul play. Now in the last matchup, I said that the foul play would not KO and that the Deoxys would throw another move. The thing here is that Deoxys was clearly running Thunderbolt and Psycho Boost, whereas this Deoxys is running Rock Slide and possibly Psycho Boost, possibly Thunderbolts, could be either one, but they do survive here and they get to another move. This is perfect. This is what I want. I want my Umbreon to be lower because I do not want that Bastion to get too much farm here. So the Bastion's coming in. It's going to be going crazy with the Smackdowns, probably commit to a full farm down. Don't think there's any real reason for it to throw. And I can't really swap out into Deoxys here because that Bastion would destroy my Ninetales. So the best course of action here is to just let the Umbreon go down, do as much chip damage as I can, and maintain the alignment of Deoxys on Bastion. Hope that the Ninetales can beat whatever is in the back. And with this particular team, because they swapped out Deoxys, it could be a Shadow Victory Bell, it could be a Vigoroth, it could be a Medicham. I've seen all those types of lines. In this case, it is a Medicham. I exit with my energy, and I come in with the Ninetales here. Now, the important thing to know here is that the opponent still has 2 shields, and they have a Bastion, so I don't really want to leave my Ninetales here for a lot of energy. So notice, I get to the Weather Ball, but I do not throw my charge move because I want this Medicham to take me out. This is what they do. Now I come with Deoxys, I'm going to commit to a straight farm down here. I know they can't get to another Psychic, so it's only going to be a Power Punch, but because we were able to avoid the farm down with Bastion on the Ninetales, we're going to be able to take this match here because there's nothing Bastion can do against Deoxys. Opponent doesn't want the smoke, leaves the match. We take that game. We go 4-1 in this final set for Season 7. So that was the final set I did for Season 7. It brought us up to 33-35. This is a very strong team, so huge shout out to Vergiverg for creating it. I know a lot of people don't have access to Deoxys, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully Niantic does make it more readily available come Season 8. So let me know what kind of content you guys want to see me upload for Kanto Cup. I don't really want to do any Kanto battles personally, so if there's anything that interests you guys, let me know in the comments section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.